Monopoly. The world's most famous board game is now Monopoly, the TV game. Here come the players.
My name is Alec Monopoly. You're here in my studio in West London. I'm out here doing an art show at Graphic London Gallery.
What's the story with your name? Tell me a little bit about how this Monopoly thing came about.
Well, I started doing street art a while ago. I was doing a lot of graffiti, and I wrote under the name A Squared. And then when the economy tanked in about 2008, I did a couple drawings and street pieces of Bernie Madoff, kind of like a pop art, cartoon-esque version of him. And then as I was doing him, I kind of was playing Monopoly, and I saw some like commercial on the TV of Monopoly, and it kind of just clicked that like the Monopoly guy is Bernie Madoff, and I kind of use him as a meta-narrative and a symbol for like what's going on in the economy and stuff like that. So around 2008, I started doing the Monopoly guy just in the streets and painting him and doing paste ups. And I didn't really even think that, like, it wasn't my goal to go out and everyone think of me as the Monopoly guy. I was just kind of throwing him out there to make people think about what's going on in the world.
Tell me a little bit about where you grew up and how long you've been actually doing this.
I grew up in New York, and growing up in New York and skateboarding and that whole culture of graffiti goes hand in hand with it. And my mom's actually a painter. She's an amazing painter. She's more of like a classical oil painter, but she taught me how to draw when I was really young, and doing graffiti and skateboarding, it didn't really click at first, to put art into the graffiti, but once I started doing the Monopoly guy, it just opened my eyes to the fact that you don't have to be doing something negative like vandalizing stuff and just writing your name, which I think is narcissistic, just writing your name on something. I'm trying to spread a message and, expose people to art that normally wouldn't be exposed to it, because, most people think, museums are boring and galleries are pretentious. So when you're putting art in the streets, it's really just like bringing art into people's lives that normally wouldn't be looking at art.
What is the story with all the arrests? Everybody's talking about how you've been arrested a few times and the controversy surrounding some of your artwork and the police.
Well, I mean, when you start to do graffiti, you really accept that it's totally illegal, and at some point you're going to be arrested and get in trouble. But I mean, it's not the goal. The goal is to try to get away with it. But in cities like New York, they have like these detectives that basically all they do is chase after graffiti artists and pursue us, and they're called the Vandal Squad, and they actually work out of a subway in Staten Island. And these guys, it's fucked up, because these guys are graffiti writers, some of them, and some of them still do graffiti, or they used to, so they really know what's going on in the streets. So with my work, the Monopoly guy, it like stands out of anything, because it's immediately recognizable. So whenever I was doing work in New York, they would come after me basically, and they found out where my studio was in New York. So one day I was like walking in there, and I saw there was like 2 cops outside, and I was really lucky because my studio was downstairs from a hotel, so I could just sneak through the hotel. But yeah, so they didn't get me during my New York show, but they finally got me. If the police want to get you, they're gonna get you.
Are you excited about your show coming up in London?
I'm super stoked about my show coming up here in London. It's my first time actually showing outside of the States, so it's going to be really good. I've been working a lot in the States, and I think my work is, people all over the world will be able to relate to my work and enjoy my work. So I think it's only right that I'm doing a show here, and hopefully my next stop is Berlin. I want to do a show there as well, so I'm working on that. But it's good to get out of the States and expose my work to a whole new group of people.
Any particular inspiration as far as other street artists are concerned? Any sort of artists that you would say are like your sort of role models?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I love Keith Haring's work and Basquiat. They're some of my main inspirations because, you know, Keith Haring was one of the first to do such a simple image that looked like, you know, just like a cartoon character. And that's what kind of allowed me to be able to feel confident doing the Monopoly guy, because it's a simple image, but at the same time, there's a lot behind it.
So where do you want to go from here? What do you see yourself doing in 10 years' time?
Well, I think the whole idea of the Monopoly and the street art thing was just kind of a joke for me. I was just doing it for fun, you know? I never really thought it was gonna, I always knew growing up and like my whole life that I just wanted to be an artist and paint every day, because I just love to paint. So that's basically what I want to be doing, is just keep painting. And I have a couple other styles, a couple other names that I operate under. I'm not really gonna say, but they're more refined oil paintings, and I just want to develop those styles and then hopefully one day bring them all together into one, you know? But right now I'm just having fun with the Monopoly guys.
Good week. We'll see you next Saturday night. Come on, Monopoly.